Beej,
Yeah.
have you ever explained why Beej?
Farewell, y'all.
Why Beej?
Is that literally just
Farewell,
there's
Chad.
2 words in the challenge?
No. The challenge is why that instead of your full name.
Oh,
Instead of your given name.
my brother had a problem speaking when he was younger.
Okay.
I have an older brother. He's 2.5 years older than I am. So here's all the OPSEC, right? Give it out.
Ooh, perfect. Now people can DDoS you.
Exactly. I am Brendan. That's the God,
Was
it's so,
M.
It's so weird to say that name. In as much as when I'm at work, I'm Brendan. But coming home from the hospital and my mom's like, this is your younger brother Brendan, and my brother Aaron could not say that at that age. He just couldn't say it. Tried so hard, and not even like in a cute way, just really couldn't get the words out, or the phonemes out, I guess. And my dad's like, it's fine. His name's Brendan John, let's just call him BJ. And my mom's like, I gave him a perfectly good name. And BJ and the Bear was a thing, in the 70s, right?
Yeah,
Born in
yeah,
1979. So she's like, I gave him a perfectly good name. We agreed on this name, and I am not calling my youngest son BJ. And 4 days later, I was BJ to the whole family. And then my grandfather at some point, because Beej is a natural way to nick BJ down, my grandfather at some point nicked me down to Beej, and everybody, so I'll just give the whole thing. Everybody in my family, the immediate family would always call me BJ, fine. I went to school and told them my name was BJ, which meant that on my record at school, and I had to get it changed before I got my diploma, my name was literally BJ John Deary. I had to get that changed to say Brendan John Deary so my diploma wouldn't have my incorrect name on it.
Yeah, good call.
At school, I was even BJ for a while until Beej caught on with a lot of my friends because they'd heard that as well. But it's like that just kind of became the thing, and I was just Beej to everybody at that point. My maternal grandmother, my nan, was the only one who would call me Brendan, and it was so sweet whenever she would call me that, because she'd only call me that on occasion, but it was really nice. She was never like mad at me. She'd always say it was a really nice way. She was the only one in the family who was allowed to call me Brendan whenever she wanted to. And so that was sweet. But yeah, going to when I was in university, I was of course Brendan in university, and when I was going to when I was at work, of course I apply as Brendan John Deere. Everybody would call me Brendan, and that became a very easy way to recognize how I knew somebody if they saw me in
depending on what they called you.
Exactly. If they called me Brendan, I'm like, you either know me because you're a prof, or because you're a classmate or something, or you're somebody I work with, or you're somebody who's seen me at work or whatever. You know me as Brendan. I'm like, okay, fair enough. But if you're a friend of mine, you call me Beej. And that is not something I pass around at work very much to say, because they're like, do you want to be called Beej? I'm like, no, I want you guys to call me Brendan. That's my name. That's how I tell. I'm like, okay.
I have something similar, but for time.
Yeah, okay.
Which is to say, if somebody, because for the first 13 years of my life, I was Jamie. So if somebody calls me Jamie, it means that you've probably known me for a very long time.
And if somebody who called you Jamie now did it, they're either trying to get on your nerves or they're trying to fool you or something?
So it's either I have one friend who will still call me Jamie to piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And that's about it. Nobody else calls me Jamie at this point, unless I run into somebody that I went to elementary school with, and if they recognize me, they would almost certainly call me Jamie.
Interesting. My little sister has a traditional Italian name, Daniela.
Ooh, that's nice.
But we had a neighbor out in the prairies who couldn't pronounce that, so he just called her Delilah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's still
So I often just refer to my little sister as Delilah.
What? Say her real name again?
Daniela.
And is that what everybody calls her, or has it been nicked as well?
The nickname in the family is Chichi,
Aw.
which is like an Italian thing for young, cute females.
Oh, I can
okay.
see that, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Delilah.
There's in my family, there's not there seems to be just a thing of, and I've told this on other places, but there seems to be a thing of not calling any of the men calling anybody by their actual name. I have an Auntie Bubbles, or I did, she passed away, but I had an Auntie Bubbles. It was weird. It was like, she was called Bubbles, she was never called by her real name. Her brother, my grandfather, was Eris, that was his real name, but never got called that by anybody. He was always called Darnell.
What a neat name. What is the origin of Aris?
I don't know, because it's not even short for Aristotle. It's Ariss. And I'm like, what? They even spelled it wrong on like all of his documentation. When he was like applying for like a driver's license, he had to get so much stuff changed because they're like, oh, well, this is your actual whatever. He's like, well, no, it isn't. Like getting his will made up and getting a whole bunch of other things made up, everything was wrong. So he had to get it all changed. And that's a thing. Like his father, Paul, everyone just called Paul. His real name is Napoleon. No one ever calls anybody in my family by their actual name. There's a lot of people like that. My mother's the same way. My brother's the only one that goes by his first name, and it just happened. So I was like, which I love, because it means that when I have a kid, I'm going to give them a proper name, and then we're going to just give them a nickname, and that's going to be it.
I love it.